Introduction. Welcome to the Money Map Navigator, your MMN video training. MMN is a Microsoft Excel personal financial operating system. This training is designed to help you get set up, understand how each part of the MMN system works, and to start using the Save It First mindset method with confidence. You don't need to memorize anything just yet. However, you do need to follow along as we go through each section. Feel free to pause the video at any time and review as needed. This video also works in conjunction with the MMN System Companion Guide, which serves as a reference with more details. Alright, following is a short video that builds the foundation as to why MMN has been developed and why it makes sense.
Alright, let's talk about something that so many of us have been through. That moment you decide to build a budget in Excel. It sounds like such a great idea at first, but let's be honest, it almost always ends in complete and total frustration.
I mean, seriously, have you ever had that feeling? You open up that brand new, clean spreadsheet, you're all fired up to finally get your finances sorted, and then you're just staring at this massive grid of empty cells with absolutely no idea where to even begin. It's such a common feeling. And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? And here's the thing, it's not your fault. The sheer amount of work just to get started, all the rows you have to create, the crazy formulas like SUMIF, getting the formatting right, it is just so overwhelming. And that's exactly why most of these awesome budgeting ideas end up as abandoned files collecting digital dust.
This whole experience, it's so universal, it even has a name. And that's what we're going to call it, the spreadsheet struggle. Okay, so what's really interesting here is that we basically have two very different paths you can take. Over on the left, you've got the old school way, building it all from scratch. We're talking endless setup time, you're battling with complex formulas, and one wrong click can break the entire thing. But then you look over to the right. There's a totally different way, a guided approach, where all that heavy lifting has already been done for you.
So yeah, let's dive into this guided approach, because honestly, this is where the whole game changes. It's all about working smarter, not harder. So this solution we're talking about, the Money Map Navigator, or MMN, its whole deal is that you're not starting from a blank page. It comes preloaded with a structure that just makes sense, all the formulas are already plugged in, and it has categories that you can actually use right out of the gate. That huge barrier to getting started, it's just gone. And this leads to a really cool idea. What if you could put your budgeting on autopilot? And I don't mean in some scary, out-of-your-control kind of way. I mean in a way that just automates all the boring, tedious stuff, so you can focus on making the important decisions. And this just shows you how simple the whole process can be. Your job, what you actually have to do, gets boiled down to just 3 easy things. 1, you enter your income. 2, you decide your savings goals first, which is a super powerful habit, by the way. And 3, you just log what you spend. That's it. Step 4? There is no step 4. For you anyway. The rest just happens automatically. So, you might be asking, how does it actually do all that? Well, those complicated formulas, they're already built in. The spending categories, they're all set up and ready for you to use or customize. Your savings? That money gets set aside first, before you can even think about spending it. And maybe best of all, the reports that show you where everything is going, they update all by themselves. No more late nights crunching numbers. You see, this gets to the core idea here. This isn't about getting rid of Excel, not at all. It's about unlocking the real power of Excel by just getting rid of all the frustrating stuff that makes it so hard to use for a personal budget. There's a perfect term for this idea, guided flexibility. Think about it. You get all the structure and automation you need to actually stick with it, but without being locked into some rigid, restrictive app. It's still Excel, so it feels familiar, it's completely flexible, and this is the most important part, it's 100% under your control.
And that's such a key point. You're not handing your private financial data over to some third-party app with hidden rules or surprise subscription fees. Nope. You own the file. You can see exactly how it works. It's just a clear, transparent, and organized system that's built to help you win with your money. So when you put it all together, what does it all mean? Well, it's about making a really fundamental shift in your financial life. It's a journey from the chaos and confusion of a broken system to the incredible clarity of a system that actually works.
This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? The whole point is to take Excel budgeting from being this huge, overwhelming project that you eventually give up on and turn it into a simple, powerful tool that really helps you. It finally makes the spreadsheet work for you instead of you working for the spreadsheet.
And so let's just end on this one question. Think about it. Maybe the answer to your budget problems isn't some complicated new app or, another failed attempt to build a spreadsheet from scratch. Maybe, just maybe, the real missing key to your financial clarity is just a simple, well-designed map for a tool you already have.
During this video we will be covering the following topics. The MMN system setup and overview. The SIF mindset. The MMN system's operations. And lastly, we will conclude with closing remarks. Let's get started with the MMN system setup. This short video shows you how to set up and structure a Google Drive cloud storage file system. It provides remote access for your MMN file and data archiving. First, it shows how to create a data folder. Next, it shows how to create a MMN folder within the data folder. Then it shows how to create an archive folder within the MMN folder. That's it. The MMN folder is for your working copy of MMN, and the archives folder will be used to store copies of your MMN files. At the end of each month, it's a good idea to save a start of month, and at the end of the month you can create an end of month file. The archive file name reference, a FNR, makes it easy to keep track of your MMN files. It provides an easy way to identify each file and what it represents. The AFNR has your MMN version, the year, month, and day, and it has a reference tied to your username. The MMN home screen is where you personalize your MMN financial operating system. You simply enter your username in the red cell that says "Enter your name" here. Once you enter your name, MMN will use your username to configure the archive file name reference processor. It will also customize all of the working MMN data sheets. This screen shows sample user as the username and shows how the home page will look after customization. Let's take a quick tour through the MMN system overview. Starting with the home. Home. This is your MMN hub. Home is where you begin and end with MMN. The list of features and benefits are listed to help and remind you about why MMN is set apart from simple spreadsheet budgeting. It identifies you as a MMN user. It's where you save and archive your MMN. If you need to contact us at Money Map Navigator, our contact info is on your homepage. There is a link to our website support center. For quick and easy linking to our website, there is a QR code in the URL, with a clickable link. If you ever get lost, come back to home. The dashboard. This is your at-a-glance view of your system health. It helps you see what's safe and what needs attention. From the dashboard you can quickly see your monthly provisions, the total amount of all payments and the net amount of your provisions after all payments are deducted. The star of the dashboard is your Save It First. It shows you what percentage of your provision sources is targeted for SIF and how much of your SIF has been put into motion. The totals for your loans, expenses and credit cards are here to see. No more guessing how much is left for discretionary spending or even how much more room you have for SIF expansion. For your convenience, MMN system links are also accessible on the dashboard, so you can quickly jump back and forth from any page when needed. Provision sources, PS. This is where you collectively capture all of your income sources in one place, so your MMN system is based on your real cash flow. It is unlike any simple budgeting spreadsheet. It cleverly determines how to sync all of your income streams to specific calendar days. It knows if the second Wednesday is on the 14th or the 11th of the month, so once you set it, the provision sources algorithm takes it from there. The types of income streams are income that occurs on a specific weekday of every month and on a specific week of the month. Like the second Wednesday of the month. It covers pay days that occur every 2 weeks and even lets you select the day of week like Monday or Friday. Some checks come in weekly, so all you need to tell it is the weekday. The end of the month deposits are easy for PS. For those first of the month sources, no problem. The catch-all for monthly sources is the day of month. You tell it the third and it takes it from there. Lastly, most government paychecks fall on the 1st and 15th, so you only have to enter the amount. With provision sources you have a ton of options. Save It First, SIF. The mind shift that sets MMN apart from simple and some advanced budgeting spreadsheets and/or programs. Once you get it, you never look at your cash flow as seeing what has happened, to what will happen. SIF users look for opportunities to put their money to work, and that's what a true asset is meant to do. SIF puts a safety net around your monthly cash flow and also provides a source for high-yield savings accounts to interact with MMN. It's the generational wealth builder. It makes it easy for you to set it and forget it. Which is a good thing when your money is growing safely and fluently in an account a couple of clicks away. The SIF page has a convenient link to trusted SIF providers that are easy to set up and connect to your bank's checking account. Once set up properly, you'll see growth and ease of use. Expenses. This is where you map your monthly and annual bills, and if the expense is paid by bank or by credit card provider. When used wisely, the MMN Expenses tool can be used to help build and/or repair credit ratings without spending extra money. Some expenses can be placed on a credit card and paid just prior to the end of statement balance, and this technique can reduce interest fees and additionally reflect lower usage of credit card balances. Loans. Track your loan payoff balance adjustments. It's common to take a close look at what-if scenarios and find that just by paying a small amount extra will go a long way in reducing the number of months to pay off a loan. The system algorithm shows how much of principal is paid, which makes it easy to determine if a loan needs to be tweaked. This can directly translate into savings. Additionally, by adjusting the number of months for a specific loan, it's easy to see how much interest will be saved and what the new payment will be. If your loan contract allows additional payments, this is a no-brainer. Credit cards. You can track card payoff projections and payment adjustments. It's easy to get a feel for how your credit cards play an important role in your monthly stability. Cash flow path. The execution layer and foundation of Money Map Navigator. It is where the system actually runs. By aligning your real provisions with your real obligations, cash flow path gives you a forward-looking, month-ahead plan so every decision is made with clarity, control, and intent. This is what sets Money Map Navigator apart from traditional budgeting tools and subscription apps. Most systems track what already happened. Cash flow path helps you decide what happens next. It lives in your financial structure, not in a server. Money Map Navigator doesn't need ongoing fees to function. Once you have it, you own it. Your cash flow, your data, your decisions on your terms. That's why Money Map Navigator is a system you buy once, not a bill you carry forever. Forecast views. This is your planning view. It helps you see future months so you can make adjustments early. Let's take a closer look at how everything works together. One important note before we move forward. You will need to clear sample data at the end of the training. Your finished file will be clean and ready for your real numbers. For now, let's walk through HISA and talk about how it works. In the Money Map Navigator, Save It First is not just a mindset, it is a real account where your cash flow grows over time. I'm going to use Marcus by Goldman Sachs as an example, but you can choose any HISA provider you prefer. If you want to see current MMN trusted HISA providers, use the HISA providers page on the Money Map Navigator website. Important note, every bank has its own sign-up flow and timing. Some providers let you open with no minimum deposit, but many still require you to fund the account soon after opening. Our goal is simple: open your account, link your bank, and set a small automatic deposit so the system is working for you in the background. To keep this easy, start small. If your bank allows it, start with $5 to open and $5 per month. You can increase that later after your SIF amount is established. Once your HISA is opened and your bank is linked, you've officially put Save It First into motion. Even if your account setup is still pending verification, that's okay. You now know the steps and you know it works. Money Map Navigator System Operations. The dashboard. This is where you check the health of your Money Map Navigator system at a glance. This is not a place where you enter a lot of data. It's a place where you read the results. Think of it like your instrument panel. It tells you whether your month is stable, whether your plan is tight, and whether your Save It First amount is safe. Here's the most important idea: the dashboard helps you answer one question. Do I have enough remaining cash flow to be comfortable, or do I need to adjust something? On this dashboard, you'll notice a highly visible menu system for quick navigation. You'll also see your net provisions, that's the cash flow remaining at the end of the month after your plan is applied. If net provisions are strong, you're stable. If net provisions are tight or negative, you don't panic, you adjust. And the first adjustment you consider is usually your SIF amount. Provision sources, also called PS. This is where you capture all of your income sources in one place. Most budgeting tools quietly fail when income changes month to month. MMN is different because it's built for real-life cash flow. Provision sources is the foundation. If the income is wrong here, everything downstream is wrong, so we keep this part clean and complete. Here's the key idea: you want to capture every source of money that hits your bank or supports your month. That includes routine income like a steady job or fixed deposits, and it includes non-routine income like rideshare, commissions, side gigs, or occasional payments. In the PS, you'll see the difference between your routine provisions and your total provisions. Routine provisions help you understand how your income is distributed. Total provisions help you plan the real month you're living in. Save it first, also called SIF. This is the heart of Money Map Navigator. Most people try to save whatever is left at the end of the month. SIF flips that logic. You decide what you will save first, at the start of the month, and then you build the month around it. In MMN, SIF is designed to work with a high-yield savings account HISA, so your saved cash flow can grow while it sits. That combination, SIF plus HISA, is a major differentiator of this system. Now here's an important point: SIF is a monthly process. It is not something you change every time money comes in. You set it at the start of the month, using visibility from your plan, and then you adjust only if you need to. And needing to adjust is normal. If the month is tight, you don't panic, you lower SIF temporarily, stabilize the month, and then increase it again when you can. Expenses. This is where your monthly plan becomes real. Most stress comes from expenses that are hidden, forgotten, or miscategorized. MMN removes that stress by organizing expenses in a clear and repeatable way. There are two things you must do correctly on this page. First, mark whether the expense is monthly or annual. Second, mark whether the expense is paid by your bank account or by a credit card. When you do those two things, your cash flow plan becomes clean and predictable. Annual expenses are the ones that surprise people because they hit like a bill that comes out of nowhere. In MMN, annual expenses don't come out of nowhere, they are planned. And payment method matters because expenses paid by credit card affect your credit card cash flow, not your bank cash flow directly. Loans. For installment debts like auto loans, personal loans, or student loans. The goal here is not just to list what you owe. The goal is to understand your payoff options safely. In MMN, there are two common ways people accelerate loan payoff. Option 1, pay a small extra amount each month. Option 2, commit to fewer months to pay off the loan. Either method can work, but only if your monthly cash flow can handle it. That's why we don't guess. We test the plan, and we confirm the month stays stable. You can enter a loan and run a simple payoff what-if scenario, and see how to reduce your loan payoff amount. Credit cards. Cards are different from loans because they are revolving. The balance can change month to month, and the payment can change month to month. That's why people often feel like credit cards are confusing. MMN makes credit cards simple by doing two things. First, it makes the balances and minimums visible. Second, it shows you how credit card payments affect your monthly cash flow plan. Here's the key idea: expenses paid on a credit card don't hit your bank immediately, but the card payment does. So, if you mark an expense as paid by credit card on the Expenses tab, the system will treat that correctly. Cash flow path, also called CP. This is the execution layer of Money Map Navigator. Up to this point, you've entered your inputs, your income, save it first, expenses, loans, and credit cards. Cash flow path is where those inputs stop being numbers and become a realistic, month-ahead plan. This is where you see your cash flow path clearly: what comes in, what goes out, and what actually remains. Cash flow path is designed to solve the two biggest problems people face with money. Problem 1, spending money that is already committed to something else. Problem 2, getting blindsided by bill timing, payments landing before the cash is there. With cash flow path, you don't guess. You don't react. You can see the entire month in advance, and adjust early, before mistakes happen. This is why Money Map Navigator works. And why once you own it, you don't need to replace it. Forecast views. Also called FV. This is where you look ahead. Cash flow path helps you plan the month you're about to execute. Forecast views help you see what the next 6 to 24 months could look like, based on your current inputs. This is not about predicting the future perfectly. It's about building visibility, so you can make better decisions with less stress. Here's the way to think about it. If you can see the road, you can steer. If you can't see the road, you react. Forecast views are designed to help you stop reacting and start planning, while there's still time to adjust. Congratulations! You've just completed the first pass of Money Map Navigator training. At this point, you understand how the system flows, and you've seen how each section works together as a complete financial operating system. Now we're going to finish clean. Next we'll do 4 important things. First, confirm the simple MMN habit loop you'll use each month. Second, you need to clear sample data used during training. Third, save your working file correctly and confirm your archive is in place. And finally, review your next steps, so you can start using Money Map Navigator immediately, with confidence. Before we close, there's one idea that deserves special emphasis: save it first. Save it first is not a tactic. It's not a trick. And it's not about depriving yourself. It's the habit that makes everything in Money Map Navigator work. When you save first, you're no longer hoping there's money left at the end of the month. You're deciding, on purpose, what your future gets before anything else competes for it. That single shift changes how you think, how you plan, and how you experience your cash flow. Provision sources shows you everything coming in. Save it first protects your future. Cash flow path helps you execute the month with clarity. Forecast views let you look ahead without guessing. Each part matters, but save it first is what keeps the system stable. Without it, planning becomes fragile. With it, everything becomes easier to manage. The reason the Save It First book exists isn't to sell you something extra. It exists because habits, not tools, are what determine long-term results. Money Map Navigator gives you structure. Save It First gives you the mindset to use that structure consistently, month after month. If you want MMN to stay simple, sustainable, and stress-reducing over time, the SIF philosophy is what keeps you grounded when life gets noisy. Thank you for completing Money Map Navigator training. You now have a system you own, a system you can turn to every month, adjust as life changes, and rely on without subscriptions, pressure, or guesswork. Use it consistently. And let it support your decisions. Welcome to your new journey, you're on the right path.